friends, welcome back to World Music Facts. If you enjoy diving deep into the history of legendary tracks, understanding the creative process, and uncovering the secrets behind your favorite music, make sure you like this video, share it with your friends, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss a new story. Now, let's expand our journey into the world of one of the most high-voltage collaborations in pop history, Shakira's Can't Remember to Forget You, featuring the incomparable Rihanna. To understand the full impact of this track, we have to look deeper at how this massive pop crossover was orchestrated. Released in January 2014, the song was not just a collaboration, it was a collision of two musical titans from different parts of the world. Shakira, the queen of Latin pop, and Rihanna, the Barbadian icon of R&B and pop, brought together their distinct fan bases to create a song that was engineered for global chart dominance. It was a brilliant fusion of new wave, reggae-pop, and ska, designed to capture the radio airwaves across every continent. Unlike collaborations that feel forced or disconnected, this track felt like a deliberate celebration of two powerful female artists asserting their dominance in the industry. The production was sharp, rhythmic, and incredibly infectious, utilizing a heavy bass line and a catchy anthemic chorus that stayed lodged in the listener's head from the very first play. The synergy between Shakira's signature vocal vibrato and Rihanna's smooth, sultry delivery created a dynamic tension that drove the song forward. This wasn't just a duet. It was a masterclass in how to combine two distinct artistic personas into a cohesive, high-energy pop hit. Beyond the sound, the cinematic nature of the music video was a cultural event in its own right. The video served as a stylized, atmospheric accompaniment that captured the intense chemistry and star power of both artists. The visuals featured bold fashion, intricate choreography, and a series of memorable scenes that solidified the song as a visual landmark of 2014. It reinforced the idea that both Shakira and Rihanna were artists completely in control of their image, turning the production into a defining piece of early 2010s visual art that kept fans glued to their screens. The song became a global sensation almost overnight, garnering massive engagement and proving that when two superstars align, they can create a cultural phenomenon that transcends language barriers. If you listen closely to the track, you can hear the incredible precision of the performance. It wasn't just about singing, it was about emotional engineering. Each note was delivered with a specific frequency of energy, allowing the voices of both artists to blend perfectly with the rhythmic, bass-heavy instrumentation without losing their individual texture. This level of detail in the studio is what gave the track its longevity, building a soundscape that worked on everything from local radio to massive global arenas. When we talk about 2014, we have to remember the musical landscape of that time. Shakira had been exploring folk rock and Latin fusion for years, while Rihanna was moving toward darker, experimental pop. Putting them together on a ska-infused track was a bold gamble. Consider their vocal arrangement for a moment. Shakira's voice is known for its incredible vibrato and inflection, a signature sound that is distinctively Andean and Middle Eastern. Rihanna, by contrast, brings a crisp, Caribbean-inflected, punchy R&B delivery. Most producers would try to flatten these voices to make them sound identical to stay in the safe zone of radio pop. But here they didn't. They leaned into the contrast. By allowing Shakira to keep her signature grit and Rihanna to keep her cool, they created a unique vocal performance where the verse flows like a confession and the chorus acts as an explosion of defiance. This is a rare example of sonic friction, where two different textures rub together to create a spark neither artist could have generated alone. Furthermore, let's talk about the ska influence. Back then, the radio was dominated by the peak of the EDM boom, where everything was a synth-heavy anthem. Shakira and Rihanna chose to go in the complete opposite direction. They brought back the organic, bouncy, guitar-driven rhythm of ska and reggae. By choosing live-sounding instrumentation over a programmed synthesizer, they signaled that pop didn't have to be electronic to be global. They made the world dance to a rhythm that felt like a warm breeze from the islands rather than a cold blast from a laptop. It was an act of musical rebellion that showed how much power they had to dictate market trends. This track became a cornerstone of the mid-2010s pop explosion, proving that a well-produced, sincere pop song could serve as the anchor for a global sensation. It wasn't just a song about struggling to forget a lover. It was an anthem for anyone who has ever found themselves trapped in a cycle of attraction and regret. The song's central theme, the internal conflict to try to leave someone who is bad for you, became a universal sentiment that fans could easily relate to. Artists today often cite this collaboration as the gold standard for blending individual personality with mainstream accessibility. It showed the industry that you didn't have to choose between keeping your artistic roots and delivering chart-topping hooks. Even the lyrics have sparked interest over the years. By focusing on the concept of being unable to forget a partner, the song remains a hallmark of 2014 nostalgia that continues to feel fresh today. As we wrap up this look, think about how different the mid-2010s would sound without that iconic beat. It represents the true globalization of pop music, proving that artists could capture the world's attention with a sound that felt both local to their heritage and universal in its appeal. The song refuses to fade away because of the philosophy of its production. In a time when pop music was dominated by high-energy dance tracks, Shakira and Rihanna brought a unique rhythmic stillness and grit to the charts. This focus on the power of collaboration proved that audiences were craving the sight of two women sharing the spotlight on equal footing. If you deconstruct the song, it's a masterclass in tension and release. Notice how the instrumentation starts with that iconic ska-inspired guitar riff and builds just enough to support the vocal interplay of the chorus. It never overpowers. This restraint is often harder to achieve in the studio than maximalist production. Shakira, Rihanna, and their production teams understood that the space between the notes was just as important as the notes themselves. This is why, even years later, the song feels like it has room to breathe, maintaining its status as a must-have for any high-energy playlist. Can't Remember to Forget You found its way into countless radio rotations and digital playlists, proving that the theme of addictive love is truly universal. Whether it's played at clubs, parties, or during workouts, the song acts as an emotional and sonic anchor. It demonstrates how songwriters can tap into a specific personal emotion and translate it into a language that connects across cultural and geographical borders. Ultimately, this track remains essential because it champions the boldness of the modern pop star. In our fast-paced, noisy digital world, this song serves as a reminder of the power of a great hook and the value of a high-profile, high-quality collaboration. That is the true legacy of Shakira and Rihanna. They taught the charts how to bridge cultures through pure, unadulterated pop power. To truly appreciate the longevity of this masterpiece, we have to recognize how it transformed the public's perception of stardom during the mid-2010s. It provided a sonic space where listeners could enjoy the intensity of the track without feeling the need to overanalyze the lyrics. This song fundamentally changed the way we consume pop duets because it emphasized a visual and audible spectacle of two icons working in harmony. Even as we look toward the future of music production, this track continues to be studied as a primary example of how collaborative energy can elevate a song. There is a timeless, infectious quality to the recording, a certain rhythm that modern production often tries to emulate. It captures a specific moment in time when a songwriter's sincerity could bypass all the traditional barriers of the music industry and strike a chord in the hearts of millions simultaneously. When you hear those opening notes, you're not just listening to a track from 2014. You are stepping into a sanctuary of sound that these two artists built to last. Before we conclude, if you enjoyed this deeper exploration into the story of Can't Remember to Forget You, please hit that like button. Share this video with fellow music lovers. Drop a comment telling us what you think was the most surprising fact you learned today. And subscribe to World Music Facts. Your support allows us to continue bringing you these hidden stories behind the music you love. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next Music Facts.